Hi, thank you for investing some time here at A1 Productions so I can deliver to you my new media product in the sports genre. So I'm the founder of the In Motion magazine, which is a new innovative sport magazine tailored to encourage a varied audience to enjoy exercise as much as I do. So during my pitch you'll understand my aims, design choices, house styles, fonts and my unique selling point. So clipped at the front of your pack, made a handmade leaflet I made for you to just scan through beforehand so you get a brief overview of what's going to be included in my pitch. So entitled in my executive summary will be my aim and my idea. So my aim is to work alongside you as a conglomerate to develop my new thrilling sport magazine, aim to target a middle class audience of 16 to 40 years old. And my idea is to create a modern sport magazine in the attempt to highlight fun and joy in exercise rather than people's classing it as compulsory. In Motion will include stories from athletes to attract the audience into the world of athletics and exercise. So now clicked into your pack you'll find evidence of some customer research I've carried out so I can learn what potential customers think before I officially create the magazine. You've got a copy of the template to show you what I gave out and an example of what some customers said. So I found out that most positive reviews were about my colour palettes and how the athlete was in a live action shot, whereas my improvements revolve around using boosts to promote my synergies rather than just the sounding lines. So before diving straight into my product's ins and outs, I want to show you that I understand the existing market so I know what I'm competing against. So I've picked out similar features that current magazines share which I will incorporate bits from in my magazine. In my market research I examined the conventions of my main competitor's magazine, Athletics Weekly. So dominant features in the existing magazine include the sans serif font used in the masthead and cover lines, and the athlete being the main image. My magazine will incorporate similar conventions like the sans serif font and the athlete, while adding in new ideas like boosts to stand out from the established crowd. Unlike Athletics Weekly, I will target my audience specifically to the ages of 16 to 40, which includes the typical age where people are keen to stay into shape. So to become and stay successful, my magazine will need a USP to stay current. So to build up a fan base and get my magazine widely accredited, I will approach people with a sporting background. So as you can see, Steve Cram, who was a former athletic, is now an athletics commentator. He has 17.5k followers on Twitter, so I think one tweet made by Steve Cram could potentially boost my magazine status immediately. Partnering up with Steve Cram, making him make a piece for my content means he can share this to his substantial amount of followers, making me more recognisable as a brand and meaning more people are considering purchasing a copy. So the In Motion reader will give you a synopsis of the idealised target audience as it explains why the reader intends to buy my magazine. So some stats I collected on the way was the mean age range of fan will be 40 to 45, while 92% of them are still in employment. The gender of my buyers is split evenly, and the ideal class would be B, C1 and C2. So in a nutshell, the reader is 20 to 45, has a keen interest for sport and fitness, enjoys exercise, likes to watch and attend the live events to gain inspiration to maintain a healthy lifestyle, enjoys being part of charitable events, and comes to In Motion for its mainstream as well as specialist content, ranging from reputable brands to specialist running shoes. So what I want to present to you now is my awareness on my budget and the trend of my profit. So I'm aware that initial costs are high because the first year lifts my products off the ground, so I'm expecting a loss in the first year. Costs do include equipment, staff, legalities, distribution costs and ethical issues. So just an insight into some real figures. Due to such high varied and quality content in my magazine, the product is going to cost £4.50, which I think is a reasonable price since I'm targeting at demographic like B and C1. So in the first month, if our circulation was 50,000, I've made 225,000, and if this continued for the first year, it would be a loss of 2 million in the first year. So for more information on this, I've printed a copy of my financial report within your pack that I put together earlier on in the process for you. So the second year is the most crucial part, as that's where we aim to break even, to then increase profit and improve our circulation. Our brand will become more established, so more sales will be made, subscriptions will become more attractable, and advertising builds our identity. I also hope to work with you to include synergies so that it helps to further expand my profit and identity. So to attract as many buyers as I can, A-Line Productions as a conglomerate will need synergies and to work with other sports brands to promote myself and compete in the market. So some examples of synergies will include gym memberships, a matching t-shirt and bottle and discounts on running shoes. So with the gym membership, buyers can potentially redeem a gym membership, so their 10th copy. So each copy of our magazine will have a stamp inside which must be then peeled off and put onto a voucher template. So the t-shirt and bottle come as a potential award of a double package, where the buyer has subscribed on the app as well as purchasing a print copy. So their names will be entered into a draw which will be announced at the end of each month. And the running shoes will be promoted in our magazine as well, and then you can get discounts on or when you use the link provided in the magazine. So now I'm going to completely break down my product to show you my chosen house styles, my title font, my images, content ideas, and the method used to boost our subscriptions. So the colour palette I've relied on is gold, silver and bronze to resemble the athletics ranking, giving off the athletics feeling. My masthead and main cover line will be gold to reinforce the idea that they're the most important. They're the most attractive to convince the readers to dive in straight away. So my masthead will be in a sans serif font, which is the typical convention of a magazine, with a zigzagged reflection to get the idea of running, giving them the sense to dive straight into the content. It will also be in bold to make it stand out, so readers know what the title is, and also highlight the enthusiasm I have behind making the magazine. And some of the images, the background will be an athletic track with the main image of the athlete anchoring on top in a live action shot. It will tell the reader straight away that we focus purely on running in the athletic genre. And some images inside will include the promotion of running equipment and sporting brands as well. So I've carefully crafted the ideas for my stories so that readers will stay interested and get a real life insight into the world of running. So some stories will be in the form of interviews with sporting stars to become an inspiring magazine while staying current. Who wouldn't love to dive into what a famous runner actually does? So my magazine will be released monthly, however the app, which I'll later talk about, is always running, often giving out subtle hints on what will be in the next edition, so readers will always feel connected and feel like they're not losing out on any content. So methods to boost my subscriptions, I will put boosts on my front cover to immediately sell the magazine from the start. Some examples of the selling lines will include Wolves Exclusive and Today's Top Pick, all helping to boost subscriptions straight from its early editions. So to keep the interest of my audience, I need to show what ideas I have to include in my print copies. So celebrity guests will be interviewed and their interviews will be issued as style content within my magazine. Similar content will talk about the daily athlete routines and their methods of training. So this can only be seen in my magazine. Why would you want to miss out? So also throughout my magazine will be promotion offers on sports and brands, whether it be running shoes for an inspiring marathon runner or t-shirts just to fit in. Why not have the chance to match the style so you can eventually be the star? So I'll also produce online content to sustain interest from audience members who increasingly spend most of their time on their phone. My infographic does show that 71% of adults rely on their mobile devices these days to access the internet. So the InMotion app is just another way to grow as a brand and help stay noticeable on the market. It will keep circulation at a reasonable rate since it gives the chance to use the audio magazine. So the digital edition's purpose is because magazines are growing more popular on phones and tablets. So the website will be promoted within the magazine on the contents of every page, so readers know how to access the online edition. And we will promote live events, so my magazine will host prize draws so readers can win tickets to live events, and the editions will upload information about local events and different activities. So now I just want to show you specifically an example of what a double page spread might look like in my magazine. So straight away what will get picked up on is that my image is of the interviewing and live action shot, so the reader knows who the athlete is and what the interview is going to be about. The main image crosses over the spine of the spread, so it shows that it was heavily focused on when we designed this content page. The title of our script is bolded and in a sans serif font to fit the formality of our interview style. And the subline underneath will be capitalised, so the reader is given a brief synopsis of what's coming up in the content. So I've just come up with a few ideas which your conglomerate could do to help make my magazine successful. So A-Line Productions could publish sport documentaries which can then be featured on my magazine. So essentially we're getting free advertising to help you out as well. This will add additional content into my magazine as well as establishing my brand under your name. So over time, the conglomerate can diversify these startups into film and TV, which could also be promoted within my content. So to finish my pitch to you, I just want to summarise why InMotion is our next big success in the media industry. So currently there is a gap in the market for us, unless you can name me another magazine like InMotion. This sport magazine is specific to running, so those interested are guaranteed to find out what they're searching for. With interviews from a wide range of athletes, who can complain about the quality of the content? What's not to love? If you're keen, there's not long to wait anyway until the launch date, June 2019, just 8 months away. We carefully thought of this because that's when summertime officially starts, so more people are out, more people are wanting to do that exercise. So now I'm going to open the floor to any questions.
Excellent pitch, Chloe, thanks. There's 2 questions I have. The first one, I love the idea of the synergy with the gym clubs and stamps. Can you just talk us through what your thinking was behind putting the membership in, they had to collect 10 stamps, so what was the thought process behind that?
So it also, because it helps boost our identity as well, because gym memberships, if they're more likely to read our magazine, they've obviously got a keen interest into exercise.
Yeah.
So with the stamp thing, because I've made specifically to 10 copies,
yeah,
it obviously gets them to read my magazine, so it gets more copies purchased, but then helps them with the purpose of what we wanted to, which is obviously enjoy exercise, because they've got a chance of getting the gym membership.
Excellent. Last question, you chose June 2019 as the start of summer.
Yeah.
Can you give us just some examples of sporting events that you'd want to cover in some of the early editions? It doesn't have to be the first, just maybe the first 4 or 5. Any sporting events that you're aware of that you feature in the magazine?
Oh, just like the Olympics, and then we could get like athletes or commentators from there that have actually had first-hand experience.
Do you think it would be important to cover, so that it's in an ethical magazine as well, the Olympics, but obviously things like the Paralympics as well? Would that be a feature?
Yeah, just so it's more diversity and that, so it discriminates, so it
Yeah.
doesn't discriminate anything.
Excellent. Thank you very much.